We are live, or you're not sure?
I'm just checking, making sure. Sometimes there's a little bit of a delay.
Good. Everybody, welcome. If you can see us, warm welcome. My name is AJ Chabry. We're about to get started and go live with a really fun podcast. We're calling it the Podcast Parley. We will have Rick Eklof. We will have both brothers on tennis, and we'll have Nick Smith. Can't wait for the evening. And we'll go 3 sets for these cats. A couple of them have played tournaments recently. One of them is a big player and a coach, and one of them is about to move to Dubai to further the interest of the podcast, Brothers on Tennis. So definitely check them out. I know I'm not just a guy helping co-host and having them on the show, but also a fan of theirs. I enjoy their show every Monday night. We are ready, are we?
We are ready. James Scott Campbell, let's get this podcast started.
To another episode of the At the Net podcast, powered by Tex-Mex Productions. Working the soundboards in the back of the house are our producers, D-Mac and Dave the Brain. Time to say hello to your hosts, Craig Bell and AJ Chabry, as they're about to take us through 3 sets of tennis, talking life and all the news as it seems to them. Ladies and gentlemen, Craig Bell.
All right, thanks to our At the Net podcast girl. That would be the Primo, Margot Carter. Primo is the night because it's a P, and we got the Podcast Parley.
I love it.
Primo is
alliteration.
The word of the night. Right.
Excellent.
Welcome, fans of the great game. You're listening to Season 1, Episode 88, a special edition tonight.
Wow.
With all these folks that have invaded our territory, right?
Love it. Love having these guys along. We're going to have a great time tonight.
Yeah, At the Net podcast with AJC.
That would
AJ
be me and CB1. That's Craig Bell next to me.
Yep, and we were talking the great game of tennis as it seems to us. Thanks also go out to our good amigos at Tex-Mex Productions. That would be one Darian D. Mac McBrayer. And we did have a brain sighting. He was these guys saw the brain from back of the house.
That's right. You did a little FaceTime with our producer. That was awesome.
Yep, making us look like real people tonight, right?
That we are.
Right. So we're not Memorex. Is there anybody on there who knows Memorex? Yeah, probably. Maybe everybody. It's probably heard of Memorex.
These guys are getting the reference. I like it.
Yep. Also, be sure to like and follow us on Facebook tonight, if you would be so kind. YouTube, Instagram.
All of them.
Yep. And then plus check out our good work on Fireside, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Guga. See, Guga. I was going to say Guga Podcast, but it's Google Podcast.
My favorite Brazilian tennis player will always make an appearance.
And you didn't know you had a podcast.
If you mess up Google, it's Guga Kirtan.
Guga Kirtan, yep. Anchor, Breaker, CastBox, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Spotify, and like I said, YouTube again.
Awesome.
So we're over on YouTube. Basically, all the important communication sites the kids find popular, right?
That's right.
Do they find them popular? These guys probably find them popular too, don't they?
I'm definite. And also Locker Room app, which we're not on, but the brothers on. So get on that, hit the share and the like and all that, and we'll get into it tonight.
Yep. And also, if you'd like to be like Margot Carter and read that Primo introduction, right? It was a Primo introduction tonight that she did.
It was.
Well, she sounded very good tonight, didn't she? She's in good form.
Good form, always.
Good form. Speaking the Queen's English, right?
That girl is fit, huge serve, and a great voice.
And just hit us up on some digits, or maybe hit us up if you'd like to read the opening intro, because we like women's voices. Not anything personal against the guys, but sorry.
Plenty of dudes in the house.
Yeah, plenty of dudes. Plenty of dudes in the house. So, but even in a foreign language, we might add, we like all languages whatsoever. Well, speaking of Primo, our guests this evening are Kayashente. You didn't know that. See, that's a new word. See, you did not know that. I snuck that in on you.
The thing is, knowing you probably spelled it right but pronounced it wrong. So I got to...
No, it's Kayashente. See?
Kayashente.
Kayashente. Kayashente.
What a beautiful word.
That's right. It's a discerning expert. So these are discerning experts. They're all Kayashentes right there. So it's almost like, I just want to go Konnichiwa also, too, but it's not.
I like it.
Right. It's... Yeah, Kanya.
Oh, this is the Italian word, cognoscenti.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah.
It's Oklahoma word.
I love
just made it up right there.
Thanks for putting a twist on it.
That's right. Good. We did that. So we've assembled this Primo group that is Cognoscenti. They're all discerning experts, and we think they're the top minds in the game of tennis, don't you think?
Definitely.
I think these guys right here are the top minds.
Rick, Nick, and the brothers. We're going to meet them tonight.
That's right. So we've got Bryce Everett. Bryce, there you go. Say hello to everybody.
Thank you. Bryce in the dark blue.
Isaac Gaulden. Where's Isaac? There he is right there down in the lower left.
Light blue.
We've got Nick Smith up in the right with us over there. has the glasses on, Nick Smith over there, and Rick Eklof in the secret square down below, right? Are you in the secret square?
I'm in the secret something. Okay. Okay. If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
It's classified.
Am I Peter Marshall then? Do I get to be Peter Marshall?
Hollywood Squares, game show host.
There we go. So, well, welcome, guys. We've looked forward to having you all on a couple of months ago. Sorry, we had to redo the podcast tonight. I had a little bit of an episode, so I think we've talked about that in the past. So I feel much better, and I look much better.
Man, you're so much
better. Sound much better.
You bounced back in about 24 hours. I'm so happy.
That's right.
Yeah.
But we were going to do this on March, I think, the 27th, 28th, somewhere in that time frame. So we're about 2 months. We were going to do that a little bit earlier, and we really wanted to do it again, so we found a date that was convenient for everybody here on May the 23rd. So thanks. Welcome, everybody. Podcast Parley. Primo here on At the Net, right?
Love it, yes.
Yep.
Well, let's get right into our first set, shall we, CB?
We got to get to know everybody.
Yeah, let's go around the room.
Yes.
We're going to start with Bryce
Yep.
in the dark blue. Bryce, tell us just real quick about your background in tennis and how you got started, not just in tennis, but in the idea of promoting the game with a great podcast.
So I started playing tennis, I think I was in 5th grade, and played through junior high, played 4 years of varsity in high school, played for my school, Southern University, there in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Yes, Southern, that's one of my favorites. They have an amazing, just the whole vibe and the HBCU and the band and everything. Love Southern.
Right. SU, baby.
Yeah.
And then after that, after I joined the professional workforce, I became a weekend warrior, like probably most people, but continued to love watching the professional game. And as you will meet my partner in crime on our show, we always talked about tennis and we always enjoyed it. And my cousin, who was kind of tangential to the entertainment industry, heard us, talked to us about maybe taking these conversations we were having and having a podcast about it, because he thought other people would find our conversations entertaining. And a few things happened, a few conversations were had, and the next thing I know, Brothers on Tennis was born.
Well done. I honestly was hoping, I love the cousin angle, but I was hoping you'd talk about your mom, because I've never actually seen her, but I've got a mild crush on your mom.
She's Mother's on Tennis.
Mother's on Tennis, and she's about to start her own thing, but Mother's on Tennis has incisive opinions, and she will not hold back, and she's not afraid to slap the host around a little bit.
Right. Well, you know what's very interesting? I'm actually at my mom's house right now.
Up in Ohio.
Yeah, I'm in Cincinnati right now, and it's interesting you say that, because my mom watched your show last week.
Oh, cool.
And AJ, she said you were very handsome.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow. That's not the first time, Bryce. That's not the first time. There's some listeners offline that he's got a fan club. I might have to,
But no, my mom was actually one of my relatives that got me into tennis. And so she knows the game about as well as Isaac and I do. So every time we record an episode, I always have a post-episode conversation with her. And if you haven't checked out my mom's episode that we recorded with her, I forgot which number it is. Go to our website. It's definitely one of the more entertaining episodes we have out there.
That is awesome. Well, let's head over to Nick Smith. You have a huge background in tennis, and you grew up playing the game right here in Texas. Give us a little quick background on you, man.
Okay. It was probably, I think I started tennis when I was about 10 or 11. We used to have I was on a soccer team, and our practice, we used to use the side field at this tennis club. And so then after practice, while we were all waiting on our rides, the guy would let us use some rackets, and we would go out there and just play around for fun, And I originally played a couple of times with one of my aunts who got me involved in it. So I had a little bit of I knew what a forehand and backhand was just from playing with her. But after those soccer practices, we would go out and play. and then I became to start really enjoying it. So I started taking lessons.
It's funny you mentioned. Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's funny you mentioned your aunt. I have a mild crush on. No, I'm kidding. I don't. I'm sorry.
No, you don't.
AJ's got a crush on all the women out there, so better watch out. Isaac, Rick, you better watch out. Yeah.
If you like her, I'm cool with it.
Happily married guy. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah. So in your teens, you got into it a little more?
Yeah. Played. Started. Taking lessons, and then I probably learned the most from a guy that you guys might know, who now lives in Montana. But his name is Kevin Eby.
Yes.
Kevin Eby.
He was here.
Was he really?
He used to live he used to live in Sherman. But then he moved to Arizona, Prescott Racket Club, and now he's in Montana.
He was retired now.
He is?
I would guess he's retired now, no? Because he's in his high 60s.
I think, honestly, when it took me a while to track him down, but like a year ago, he was, I think he was still teaching in Montana.
Interesting.
So anyway, and then I played in college, played for Gaulden. You guys know that. And we did pretty well. We won nationals my first year there, and we got second my second year there. And then after that, I didn't play for a while because I decided I wasn't going to play college tennis anymore, and then ended up going back and playing at Southeastern. And me and my doubles partner, we played at NAIA Nationals.
Awesome.
So
it's been a pleasure getting to know you too. One of my favorite moments was Craig and I were doing something at a fundraiser, and I was on the music boards, not this kind of thing, but just spinning music for this event. And who comes up behind me is Nick Smith. He's like, "Hey, Tex-Mex Productions." It's like, "Yeah," and we hit it off immediately.
I remember totally.
That was good. Well, let's head down to Rick Eklof. Tell us a little bit about your journey in the great game, and now you're back into competing, Rick.
Yeah, let's see. Grew up, didn't play tennis. My mom was from Sweden, so back in the 70s, if Ward was on, we watched tennis. Played basketball in high school. Was it spring semester of my college year, my freshman year? One of the upperclassmen said, "Hey, you need to take tennis. It's spring semester." So took a semester of tennis in college. Went off, started running down strength sports, doing those. Got colorectal cancer about 6 years ago. Put an end to no more need for me in 40s, early 50s to be deadlifting over 500 pounds, squatting over 500 pounds. Was looking for something to do. And my favorite son, yes, I only have one, so I can say my favorite son, was going into 7th grade and wanted to play tennis. I'm thinking, hey, this is great, father and son time. I can't let my son beat me. So I started playing a little bit. Mentioned the guy at church. Yeah, I was playing tennis with my son. He goes, "Oh, I play tennis a lot." I'm like, okay. So we started playing, and I was getting constantly beat by Andy R. I like for everybody to think it's Andy Roddick, but it was actually Andy Rhodes. Started going, taking some drills over at Huff Irons. We talked about Sean earlier. Let those guys give me a hard enough time. And now, had we had this when we originally scheduled, I can say I was a lifetime undefeated player. That's all gone out the window now. Hoping to make the Brothers on Tennis Pop Warner squad at some point. Just played in a tournament this weekend. I did better than I did last time, and that's all we're going to say.
I like it.
I got the Richardson Open in, 3 weeks, so I got some work to do.
Love it, man. So happy you're on the show with us, and you've been an endless source of really good questions and, of course, good feedback and good ideas, too. So thank you for being along tonight. Let's shift over to Isaac in the light blue. Isaac, tell us about your journey and your background in the great game of tennis.
Yeah, so, pardon me, it sounds as though a lot of the guys, of course, Bryce included, started playing very young. I did not. I picked up tennis when I was probably about 28. Growing up, I was always overweight. I was a big guy, the big kid. I played football. I threw shot put, discus, those types of things in high school. But for the most part, was pretty much always overweight. And long story short, probably around 1998, I got to my highest weight, which was like 351 pounds. Yes, that is a 3.
Wow.
351. Yep. And decided at that point it was time to focus on myself and get healthy. And so I started losing weight. And one of the things that kind of came across the plate was tennis. And I always talked with my boy Bryce, and we had talked tennis, but I had really never played per se. And at that time, I kind of started looking at a certain individual's game, name of Andre Agassi, and began to really, really kind of fall into the sport and not only enjoy talking about it with Bryce, but also to play. And so me and the Wall became very, very, very good friends, and the Wall never lost. But I learned a lot of great things, and I've been playing ever since. And like I said, I've been playing ever since, been talking ever since. Me and Bryce talk. Yeah, we talk probably way too much. And you're right. And what Bryce said was exactly what happened. Bryce's cousin heard us and said, you guys might want to think about doing something with this because you're sitting on something. And it just so happens that, we ended up getting the podcast going and learning a lot. And, we're almost at that 2-year point. So it's been a fantastic journey.
Yeah,
that is great.
Yeah, that's we came across something we think that's really interesting about you, Isaac. You sang the national anthem, right? You're a singer.
He has a beautiful voice.
Does he really?
Well, thanks, guys. Yeah, I
could hear that voice.
Volunteer.
Yes. Okay. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, I volunteered at a lot of tournaments out here. I'm in California.
Yep.
But when they used to have the I guess it was the BMW, whatever it was called, it was back at the UCLA campus. And I volunteered there, was in transportation. And I happened to just, talk to some folks and said, hey, I'd love to sing the anthem. And they were like, can you sing? And so, Julie Watt, thank you. I don't know if she will ever hear this, but yeah, Julie Watt was like, can you sing? I sang right at that moment. And she said, okay, we're going to get you signed up. And fortunately enough, I sang at the finals for 4 years in a row. I almost got 5. The Bryan brothers had I guess they were going for their 100th title. And so they brought in someone from American Idol to sing the anthem. So that kind of pissed me off. But at the same time, yeah, it is what it is.
It is. But, when you said Bryan brothers, I thought maybe they sang, but they were competing. And
they were competing.
What I'm happy and interested in is your audition was on the spot, like in the volunteer tent?
Yep. That was
amazing.
A cappella right there. Bust one out.
That's kind of how it goes. So, you know how it is.
Are you in a band? Do you do stuff in a band then?
No. I am hoping that post-retirement, I'm kind of following my boy Bryce here. Post-retirement from IT, I will hopefully be able to do some more things in music, but we'll see how that goes.
That's tremendous.
Interesting.
That's tremendous. Yeah. You've got a beautiful voice, and I'm always fascinated by when a taller, larger guy can also, and you have a lower voice, you can also go high, and that's fascinating to me. I'm really admiring that whenever I hear you sing.
Thanks, AJ. I appreciate that, buddy.
Rafa, do you think that Isaac should sing at the French Open, maybe the French national anthem?
Well, I'm not in charge of this, no, but I will do my best, no? I'm going to work hard. I'm going to write a recommendation, no? They listen to me sometimes, right?
Oh, okay. Well, Isaac, we got that going for you right there. So maybe they'll call you over to Paris here in a couple of weeks for the finals. How's that? Would that be okay?
I love it.
It'd be amazing, yeah.
You think he can do it, Bryce? You think he'll be able to sing the French national anthem?
Isaac, could he?
Yes.
Absolutely. That guy can sing anything.
He really can. Yeah, and, little known fact, the French national anthem is called La Marseillaise.
Yes.
And it's really the first 9 seconds of a Beatles song, right? All You Need Is Love. It's the first 9 seconds is the French national anthem. So you're going to get in key and you're going to do it, man. And you'll do it en français, too, which would be great. Well, guys, thank you. That was a great first set. We've gotten to know all of you, and our guests have. Our audience has. Let's get into the second set, shall we? You guys ready? Let's get into your opinions on the tennis world. I want, this time we're going to kind of go backwards. I want to go this way and start with Rick. Tell us your impressions of what's going on in the tennis world and how it is marketed. And you're also free to talk a little bit about how it is covered. And, again, feel free to talk about pro tennis, your level of tennis, college tennis, anything you want. Rick, you're on.
Okay, well, let's talk. Brothers, my boy Steph won today. Y'all talk about his weak backhand, okay? Let's give the man some respect, okay? Let's face it, Rafa's going to win the French Open. I think we can all agree upon that. Martina's the GOAT. What else do we want to go with?
Martina Hingis?
Martina Navratilova, I bet he's thinking.
Bryce,
Okay.
Bryce, go get him.
I'll wait my turn.
I thought this was like a relay race. I was passing batons to you, brother.
I love it. Well, let's go. I was going to go to Nick, but I want to go to Bryce on that note. You can answer those.
Well, I'll tell you what one of my problems is with the powers that be with tennis.
Tell it.
Whoever decided that the greatest of all time, the GOAT, that the measuring stick for that would be the person who has the most singles victories or the singles championships and majors, I feel that is a very one-dimensional way of looking at the greatest of all time. And I really don't think it's an accurate way. If we talk about Serena Williams right now, I absolutely think she goes down as the greatest singles champion in Grand Slam tennis history. But when I think of the player on the women's tour that has had the most complete success, who singles, doubles, mixed doubles, some of the records that she has that will probably never be broken, the amount of time she played when she won her last Grand Slam title. For me, in my heart, the greatest of all time, like Rick said, is Martina Navratilova.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's she's what she win that mixed doubles with
Leander Pace.
She's about 45, maybe.
I think she was getting
49.
Yeah,
49.
49, not 50. Okay, yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's incredible. I mean, I couldn't believe that she won that. It's kind of like Phil Mickelson winning today at age 50, won the PGA. Mm-hmm. I mean, that was a historic moment that somebody that age, I think, isn't he the oldest one to ever win a Grand Slam event now? I think that's what they were saying on the on the golf Channel 11, CBS. I think that's what Jim Nantz was saying, that he's the oldest to ever win a major at any level.
And like my favorite, Martina Navratilova, he's also a lefty.
Yes,
nice synergy there.
Yep.
Let's head over to Nick. Give us your thoughts on the tennis world today, Nick.
Let's see. I think I don't like how, like today, I'm glad you guys brought up golf because it was on today for free. Basically anybody can watch it. And these guys get paid really well. Okay? And yet I'm trying to watch any tennis match, and I have to have a special extra to watch this from the tennis network or whatever it is. I don't even have it because, I don't want to pay the extra money. You know what I mean? And I think it's just crazy because golf is on every weekend. And it's just marketed. I feel like it's marketed so bad, so poorly. I don't know how anybody else feels, but
that's a great point. I hadn't thought about it from that.
We'll watch golf. We watch golf, and it's not even a major tournament, and the major players are not even playing. But the major players are playing in tennis, and it may be just like when just like the Italian Open.
Yeah.
And you can't watch it unless you pay extra for a TV package. So I mean, anybody, any thoughts on that? I mean,
what Nick, I think to distill it is you're feeling like tennis is undercovered. Golf is better, would you say, marketed than tennis?
Yes, definitely.
If I may add, it's also better organized than tennis. They've got a little bit more top down. Tennis is so decentralized with, as we call it, sometimes that alphabet soup of organizations that compete a little bit with each other. Nick, you were asking if anybody else has an opinion on that stuff. I want to go down to Isaac first and then let everybody else have a shot at it. Tell us a little bit about what your impressions on pro tennis today, and maybe you can address how it's marketed. And if you want, you can clown a little bit on whoever's out there in charge.
Well, okay. And I guess I have a couple of opinions on that.
Please.
First of all, I think that the state of tennis actually, it's in a pretty good state, I would say. I do think that if you were looking at it from if we're looking at it from the American perspective, there's a lot to look at and a lot to be hopeful for from a female side. On the men's side, it is lacking very much so. And I think that may have a lot to do with the reason why it has changed and why it's not sort of on basic television anymore, is because we really don't have any American stars that are there to really promote the sport right now. I mean, they're just not. Andy Roddick was the last one. The bunch we have now, you know, I want to say they're trying, and they are. Let me not be so mean. But again, there's just not, in my opinion, any star that is really pulling it to the mainstream for it to be shown. Before, I think that, there was a lot of different coverage because you had ESPN, you had, it used to be on USA, and it used to be on just a bunch of other different disparate, kind of networks, which was good and bad, because if you were a tennis fan, you would track it and you would follow it and you would record it. But if you weren't, you would miss a lot. I do like the fact that it is centralized on the Tennis Channel, but to Nick's point, you do have to pay. It is on a different tier in order for you to get it. It is not a part of a basic cable package. And to me, I feel like that is exactly what he's talking about. That should be changed, in my opinion. But overall, I do feel like the state of the game is in a good spot. Again, the American males, it's a little bit tight on them right now. But overall, the tennis is popping, in my opinion. I mean, I am enjoying every aspect of it. I am enjoying all of the international flair. I mean, again, because you had Roger, Rafa, Novak, the big three that just brought it from just a whole nother level. And then you've got all of the ladies, and you've got Serena still trying to get this goal. I just love I love where tennis sits right now. Enough from me.
Good stuff, bud. Yeah, thank you. Craig, I want to get your perspective a little bit. We've been talking mostly about the pro game, but when Isaac says tennis is popping, tell us a little bit about what you're seeing, not just in the pro game, but in the club atmosphere or the recreational tennis.
Yeah, the club scene, I think, amateur tennis, what you're really talking about is amateur tennis. I think that where there's people like pros out there, like at a club like I'm at, I think that the game's in pretty good shape. Rick said that he's playing some tournaments. I think tournament tennis, there's a shift from USTA tennis to UTR. I think that'll be interesting to see. I don't know where that's going to go yet as far as USTA, UTR. I don't know how that's going to shake out yet. I think there's still another year or so to figure that out. There's some hiccups in the new tennis director. It used to be TDM. Yep. TDM package is a little tough for some of the tournament directors. Junior tennis is shifted from level 1 through 7 now. There's some hiccups out there right now. It'll probably all get worked out at some points. I still think that the game of tennis is okay functionally. Unfortunately, there's a ball shortage. There's a racket shortage. There's a shoe shortage. Can you say that?
Shoe shortage.
Shoe shortage. Shoe shortage. Shoe shortage. Shoe shortage. Say that 10 times. But there actually is. I think that so from a production standpoint, tennis, if you look at it from a manufacturer standpoint, it's actually in pretty good hands, because that's how they measure what what's going on is ball sales. And during the pandemic, we were really busy out here at the club. I'm sure that you all saw other people on courts all over the place, high schools that were open, colleges, public facilities, where people were out there playing. It was really popular. So I think, what Isaac's saying, we're in pretty good shape on the amateur side right now. College tennis, I think for me, I'm still mad about college tennis. I could rant on that. I think you've all heard me talk about college tennis, and I think that's where the men's professional game. That was where the minor leagues was, and they've ruined that at this point. I won't get started on that, but I think there's not enough opportunities for American guys. I grew up in the golden age of American college tennis in the late 70s, early 80s. There's a plethora of people. Another P word, plethora.
Parlay
for the podcast. Primo. But there's no plethora right now. It's pretty slim pickings out there. I think that lake's been drained, and unfortunately, we don't have a lot of talent. And like what you all were saying, that there are people out here that are really trying. I was listening to a couple of tournaments on Tennis Channel talking about Tennis Sandgren, FAA, nice guys, but they're just not getting it done. I mean, I hate to say it, that we just don't. John Isner, Riley Opelka, people like that, just good players, but just not. And I know it's tough to beat the big three at the moment, but college tennis, get me started on that. That's a hot topic for me.
I'm going to shift over, rather than talking about American tennis, I want to shift over and just ask you all, who inspires you? Women's tennis, men's tennis? Who are your favorites to root for? Let's start with Nick.
Okay. I'm a Nadal fan all the way. I love his intensity, just everything he is. He's humble.
Yeah.
I just like his whole demeanor. So I'm always cheering for him to do well. And it's not that I don't like any other players, but he's the only person I really care about watching play.
I thought you were going to say he's the only person I really dress like, because you will rock the sleeveless and the headband and the beef, right?
I have been doing that for years, and then finally this guy came on the scene, and it's like he made it cool because I couldn't do it.
You're his idol is what it is, Nick.
Oh, that's got to be it. Yeah.
Nick used to wear capri pants all the time. Yeah, I knew that. You're the one that started that trend, Nick. Up there in Denison, Texas. That was big, capri pants.
And Nick, tell us about on the women's side. Who are you into stylistically?
It's just there's never like that much here lately. A player that you just never know who's going to win with the women. It's I kind of like watching Swiatek play.
Oh yeah, Iga Swiatek.
Yeah. I mean, she hits a really big ball, but week to week, I mean, it's never really consistent. Mm-hmm. So I just never know with the women, because and then again, unless Serena starts playing better, I mean, I want to see players that they're playing for something, kind of like we're playing for history here. And it's hard to focus on that when you've got these three guys on the men's side that are playing for history. Whether you agree with how they're being ranked as the greatest of all time or not, this is how it is. I mean, these three guys are battling it out, and that's what I'm ready. That's what I want to watch.
Awesome.
I want to see what happens with that.
Let's go to Rick on the same question. Who's inspiring you? Women's tennis, men's tennis in general?
Well, Roger's the GOAT, so we can just end that conversation right here. Okay? So that conversation's over with. Outside of the big three, I mentioned Tsitsipas earlier. Anybody that plays with one hand, I like them. Two hand, no, that's cheating. Okay, you don't hit any of the shot with two hands. No, one hand backhand. Okay, so let's get the hot sports opinions flowing quickly here. And then Osaka on the women's side.
Naomi Osaka.
Naomi Osaka, right.
Yeah, big hitter. Let's go to Isaac on this one. Who's inspiring you out there, and what do you see happening?
See, that's why I like Rick. Rick, you my homeboy. You and me, right there, bro. Exactly. It's all about Roger. Now, and here's the thing, and then this speaks to Nick's point. I have grown to now appreciate Nadal a lot more than I did before. As it relates to the French and clay, it's like what Rafa has done at Roland Garros is straight out sick, y'all. It is straight ridiculous. And the fact that he is going to win this coming Roland Garros, you can't tell me that he's not. It is amazing.
I'm writing that down.
At the end of the day, is going to tie Pete Sampras at one Grand Slam.
Unbelievable.
To tie his record at one Grand Slam.
I hadn't thought about that.
That's otherworldly right there, y'all.
Yeah, Pete with 14 slams, Rafa with 14 Roland Garros.
Right.
Rafa is incredible. So I have definitely grown to appreciate and really respect him and what he has brought to it's just amazing. It's incredible. So with that being said, so it's Roger. Rafa's in there.
Yeah.
On the women's side, Serena's my girl. I'm always going to root for Serena because I want her to get this imaginary goal of 24. To me, it really doesn't matter because she's done what she needs to do. But it's fun watching the chase, and sometimes it's frustrating and disappointing, and it gives you stomach pains. But at the same time, it's really fun. And as far as the new crop goes, you can't bet against Naomi Osaka. I still love Swiatek, who you've talked about. I mean, there's so many young ladies. And Nick, it's funny because you were saying that it's just like you can never tell from week in and week out. In truth, that's why I actually love the women's game right now, is the fact that there are so many women. There are literally 15 women that can win a tournament every week going in. So to me, that just feeds into my anticipation of, okay, who's going to step up? Who's going to crack? And I actually love it. I love the fact that there are so many ladies that are just trying to grab that mantle. And Naomi Osaka, in my opinion, outside of course, clay and grass, because she still needs to work on that. But on the hard court, she to me has grabbed that mantle, even though Barty hasn't played. But then you got Barty and you got so many, like I said, I love the women's game right now. It is awesome to me. Sorry, I'm talking a lot.
That's good. No, because as a fan, the parity can be confusing for the casual fan, but for the more serious fan, the parity drives that tension and that sort of wondering who's going to take this one. And there are all these stylistic differences with surfaces and all that. Let's go to you talked about men and women. That was perfect. Let's go up to Bryce on this one.
So anyone that follows Brothers on Tennis, they understand I have this thing where I say I have my varsity team and I have my JV team. Now, what that means is that if I have you on my varsity team, that means I root for you and I expect for you to win.
Yes.
If you're on my JV team, that means I root for you. For some reason, I like some part of your game or something about you, but I don't necessarily expect for you to win all the time. So I say that to say there are probably 16 players on both the men and the women's side that I often find myself rooting for.
Varsity.
Now I am on the men's side. I'm like a couple of the other guys. I'm Roger. Roger for me is GOAT and very much like what Isaac said. But how can you not respect what Rafael Nadal has done? But if Roger's on the court, that's who I want to win. That's who I follow. I will watch Roger play anybody at any tournament on any surface. For the upcoming guys of this next group of guys coming up, my guy is Medvedev. I like Medvedev because he's a little bit kind of the bad boy on the tour. He has an unusual game, but a very effective game. I still need for him to kind of figure out that clay a little bit. But you can't overlook that guy. And really, we've seen him ascend to number 2. We haven't seen any of the other guys do something like that yet. Now, on the women's side, it's always been about the Williams sisters for me. I always vote for them. And if Venus is playing Serena, I'm voting for Venus. In terms of the women that are coming up, absolutely agree with what Isaac said once again about Osaka. And I absolutely love not only what she has done on the court, but what she's done off the court as an activist as well.
Oh, yes.
But the one thing that I want to say about another player that I am super, super excited about is Miss Coco Gauff.
Oh, yes.
And of the sports that I follow, tennis is the absolute worst at hyping somebody up. Like, somebody wins a 250 tournament in Madagascar, and the next thing we know, they're going to be the next number one in the world, right? Coco Gauff is the rare example of a player that has not only lived up to the insane hype that she had coming onto the tour, but probably has exceeded it at this point. So I am very excited to see where she goes with her career, and to see somebody that young put so much focus not only on singles, but doubles as well.
I loved your point, and Rick's, about how Martina is the greatest of all time as a tennis player, not just Grand Slam singles. Coco, I mean, Serena has won, and Venus have won so much doubles too, but Coco Gauff to win a pretty decent-sized tournament in singles and doubles on the same weekend. Ash Barty did the same thing in Stuttgart about a month and a half ago. This is another level that we've not seen much in women's tennis since Martina Hingis, Martina Navratilova.
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
so this
Alonso Sanchez Vicario.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I noticed.
Hey, brothers, where's your love for Aslan? I didn't hear you mention him.
Oh, Karatsev.
Well, you know what? I figure I talk about him so much. I didn't want you guys to think that, So anyway, for people who don't know, who don't listen to our show, one of the things that Isaac and I are very, very proud of is that we started watching Aslan when the whole kind of quarantine period happened. And we saw him play, and we talked to each other, and we were like, why is this guy not in the top 10 in the world? He has everything. He's great. He's amazing. He's awesome. I mean, we followed him so much that we even watched his qualifying matches at the Australian Open. So it was no surprise to us at all when everybody else, when John McEnroe, when everybody's like, who is this guy? We've never heard of him. We were like, why not? We've been watching this guy. This guy is incredibly talented, So we take very, very special interest in Karatsev because we feel like we didn't jump on a bandwagon with him. We were rocking with him way before anybody else was. And to be very honest with you, probably past Roger, he is really probably the second male that I vote for the most. I love Medvedev, but Karatsev really looks like he has an all-surface game already.
He really does. The movement is great. He's great on hard and clay. I don't know how he's going to do on grass in the next couple of months, but I can't help but think he's got the weapons and the movement for grass and some touch around the net too.
I'm surprised.
Absolutely.
I'm surprised nobody mentioned the Joker. Joker, what do you think about that?
I was just going to say it's very disappointing, guys, but it inspires me very much. It inspires also my 37 fans all over the world.
57?
And,
Oh, that many? Wow, 57. I didn't know that.
The number has shrunk, sadly.
Well, he's 57 members in his family, I guess. Is that what we're saying?
That's it.
And no Nick Kyrgios. What happened to Nick? Nick, what happened to you?
Mate, you call yourself a journalist. Yeah, piss off. Next question, guys. Yeah. I'm no stranger to the hype machine, right?
Yeah, right.
But so I appreciate you guys not hyping me right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. We were kind of trying to keep it down a little bit. So.
That's good.
We had a question.
Nick, hit us.
One question for Nick up there. Nick? Have you figured out a racket? Have you figured out a racket yet? We had Walt Williams ask if you figured out a racket yet of choice.
Nick Smith.
Oh my God! Tell him yes. I actually found.
Well, you're telling him right now. He's on there, so you can talk to him. Okay, Walt.
Okay, yeah, I got one. I got hooked up and I tried this racket out from this company, and the diadem or the diadem rackets. It's actually great because I'd been going back and forth between the Pure Drive and the Pure Arrow for a while. Mm-hmm. I love the string pattern on the Pure Arrow because it's a little bit wider, but the Pure Drive, for anybody that has a one-handed backhand like me, and I know Rick's going to love this since I have a one-handed backhand, when I would grab the frame, the way the arrow is shaped, it would torque my wrist weird. And so when I'm reacting quickly, like it would throw the shot off a little bit. It seems kind of weird, but anyway, this racket is like the best of both worlds. And
is it the Diadem Elevate or the Nova, which is more like a pure drive?
It's the Nova.
Okay, thought so.
Yeah, and I can hit a really, really heavy ball with that racket. So and that's what I like about it. So Walt, if you want, I can get you some really good deals on rackets.
Love it.
Now we also have Robbie Renenberg, who's a future guest with his brother Richie on the line, and he's the Technofiber rep, so he might be wanting you to use Technofiber. So you might try that out. So
they make the Lacoste racket, and they make several rackets.
Yes,
I've got an older one here, and Robbie will be pleased to see this.
Oh yeah,
this is the Lacoste, but it's also the Technofiber, which a lot of people don't know. It's the same company now.
Just
weird.
Yes.
Hey, Nick.
The question was where would you guys put Graf on your all-time list? Since you're talking about that.
Great question.
She on the varsity or the junior varsity?
I mean, she's on my varsity for sure.
See, I was listening. I was listening to Bryce up there.
Good one. What do you guys think? Weigh in on Steffi Graf.
Well, I'll just say this. Steffi, for me, even falls below Serena because, like you said, Serena does have the number. She has 2 mixed doubles Grand Slam titles and 14 women's doubles. So she has that. But definitely not over Martina, who has, all the mixed, all the doubles, all the singles titles. And although I know it's not Steffi's fault, for me, there is a little bit of an asterisk by some of Steffi's titles because of the Monica Seles situation.
Monica Seles was unbelievable, and it's so unfortunate that happened.
So, granted, Steffi, you only beat who's on the court in front of you. She had nothing to do with that, but she definitely benefited in that situation, in my opinion.
Anybody else weighing in on Steffi?
For singles. I just meant singles. I was talking strictly of singles.
Yeah, so in singles, she benefited.
Where would you put her?
I will say this about Steffi. Steffi, to me, is the second most dominant women's player I've ever seen. Martina and Steffi they would go out there and they would wonder, is their opponent going to be able to stay out there 30 or 40 minutes with them? Serena has kind of built the reputation that she's a fighter, and so she pulls out these big 3-set wins and all that, and that's great. But in terms of, all I have to say is Natasha Zareva.
Yeah.
At the French Open.
Yeah, 50 minutes.
Yeah, double bageled her. Who double bageled somebody in a Grand Slam final? So, yeah, and what an athlete, Steffi Graf was. So, I just wish we could have seen what that matchup between her and Seles would have looked like across, the next 8 or 9 years.
Yeah.
I think they would have been very much another Martina Chris Everett type of scenario.
For sure. I want to go down to Isaac on his opinion of the girlfriend then wife of one of his favorite players. Tell us your thoughts on Steffi Graf.
It's not much more that I can say that what Bryce said. I think that Steffi was absolute dominant. I mean, her dominance was just scary. She had folks scared to play her coming out the locker room. I mean, seriously. And that to me is I don't know that you have too many other players that really had that in their heyday. So, but like you said, I mean, I won't reiterate what he said, but at the same time, the one thing I will say is you've got to give Matt credit for Steffi for her Gaulden slam, the Gaulden slam.
Yeah.
To me, that rates, because again, even with Serena, she was going after a calendar slam and she choked it out in that semifinal against the little Italian player. I forget her name.
Yes. That was Roberta Vinci, who a day or two later lost to
Panetta.
Yeah, Flavia Panetta.
Exactly. So that in itself, that accomplishment to go through and take all 4 Grand Slams and win an Olympic gold, you got to weigh that very heavily because no other person has done that.
So it
kind of, it's hard to say, man. It's really, really hard to say because I love me some Steffi. I love them long legs. She was an athlete. She was awesome. Again, I have to, of course, give the nod to Serena as far as singles. But my second, I think it might have to be Steffi.
Nice. Rick, where are you on Steffi? And then we'll go back to Nick, who asked the question.
I think Stephanie and Serena are 2A and 2B to me. I mean, it's if the line's too thin to make a call which one.
Boy, that'd be a great match between Steffi and Serena at their best. On all surfaces. Serena on clay versus Steffi on clay. Then Wimbledon, that'd be a great matchup. That'd be awesome to see them at the U.S. Open. On hard court. I mean, that would be just a terrific matchup. That would be get some popcorn for that. I'd pay for that.
Definitely,
I'd pay for that match. Nick? What do you think?
I would love to see them at their best. I mean, I know I saw them when I guess Serena lost to Steffi, but. When I watch some of the players that Serena does lose to, and I think, man, I mean, I don't know. It seems like Steffi would drill this person, but I also think it would be tough playing her because of her slice backhand. It wasn't like a normal slice backhand. It was such a almost very aggressive weapon slice backhand, So, and one more thing, Rick. You have a one-handed backhand. I can help you. I have a one-handed backhand. I'm going to help you.
Hey, wait. So let's just say you can help me more than Sean Foster can help me. Is that what I'm hearing? You can help me more than Sean can, right?
With your one-handed backhand? Yes, sir.
I love it. The gauntlet, the challenge is down. I love it. As we round out this second set, Craig Bell, what are some good questions from the crowd?
We just had one right now. Build your dream team Davis Cup team.
Davis Cup, so men's only.
Yeah. Or we could do Fed Cup. We could do.
By the way, and that's from the brother of a man who represented the United States in Davis Cup doubles many, many, many times.
Boy, that'd be a really good dream team. Would you go 3 people, 4 people, something like that? Because Rose and Haslick were 2 guys.
Oh, Jakob Lasek
and Switzerland.
And Mark Rose. They got to the 93.
Yeah, 93
final here in Fort Worth, Texas.
Right. So you go 2 guys, 3 guys, because U.S. boy, we could have an unbelievable team.
Well, they're allowed to carry 4 starters and a few backups. So let's give everybody. I kind of want to go Billie Jean King Cup also. Because I love Billie Jean King.
Yep.
You mentioned that Steffi's slice wasn't just a slice; it was a weapon, and Billie Jean King had that too. So let's start off with your dream team Davis Cup, and let's go 4 people, any country, but it has to be all from the same country. And then let's go to Billie Jean King Cup. We're going to start with Rick.
Let's go with Akeem Olajuwon at center.
Magic Johnson at guard.
He's clearly from Houston. He grew up in that Phi Slamma Jamma.
Yeah.
You were probably in high school or college,
Right. Clyde Drexler, the Glide, and those guys,
Oh, yeah.
That was a good team. So who's your Davis Cup team?
Let's go with I'll take Sweden.
Ooh, okay.
I'll take Borg.
Ooh, yeah, Borg. Okay.
Edberg. Mats Wilander.
For sure.
Ooh.
Who's playing doubles? Wilander and Anders Jared, maybe?
Yes.
Love it. That's a great quartet. I know I just filled in Jared for you, but you could have gone with a lot of guys there. You could have gone with Bjorkman if you wanted to, too.
Jonas Bjorkman.
Yeah. All right, let's go over to Isaac. Give us your dream Davis Cup squad.
Oh, my gosh. I guess so many things depend. The reason Okay, I'm just going to throw it out there.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Americans right now.
Yeah,
and as weird as this sounds, I would have a Davis Cup team that would be Johnny Mack,
For sure.
Pete Sampras, Andre Agassi, and I'm trying to choose between either Courier or Andy Roddick.
Awesome. Both Davis Cup heroes. Mac could play singles and dubs, and your other guys, Pete and Andre. Pete actually, of course, known more for singles, but as you mentioned, Fort Worth '93, he and Johnny Mac won something. They were getting their butts kicked only in the breakers, like at the end for 2 sets. Then they just dominated that match, and I'll never forget it. Mac and Pete. So what a great group you've got, Isaac. Let's go over to let's start with Nick. Who have you got in your Davis Cup squad?
Wow.
All time, inter-era.
But it has to be from the same country?
Yeah, you got to say the country, and then give us your squad.
Wow, that's tough. I guess I'll go with. He already took America, so I guess I'll go with Spain.
Ooh.
I guess I'll take Nadal.
Of course, hero.
You could put him anywhere.
Yeah.
So
Doubles too. The dude's an amazing volleyer.
You gonna go the other lefty? Back in the 70s, the other lefty. Initials M.O.
Manolo Orantes.
There we go.
Love that guy.
Oh man, he was awesome.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of Nadal. I would take Nadal. Maybe I don't know. Correcha.
Oh yeah.
Kind of. He's pretty tough. Yeah. Now I'm starting to.
They have a bunch of guys. I mean,
I know. I'm trying to think of who's the best one. Who is the next best one? So I don't know. It's tough.
I mean, David Ferrer won some pretty big matches out there.
Maybe because he's a tough singles player. He can pull out a singles match. So I'll go with that.
Good stuff. Bryce, your turn. Davis Cup, baby.
All right. So just so that we pick different countries.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to go with Australia.
Oh, me too. That's
Yeah.
You and me, baby.
Okay.
And I'm going to go Laver.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm going to go Rosewall.
Of course.
And I'm going to go to Woody's.
Woody's and Dubs.
Ooh, Woody's.
All right, you and I are on the same wavelength because my pick is Australia, but I want Nick and Rod. I want Rod to teach Nick his ways, so I want them playing doubles, and then whoever. I mean, they have a list as long as USA. They may not have a Mac and a Sampras, but they do have a huge list. So I'm open to any two singles players from their country. I'd probably go with Patty Rafter and maybe Pat Cash, but I kind of want to say Newcomb because he is my password on most.
Is he?
Yeah.
Now we know.
Sorry.
Where do you bank at?
I'll give you all the stuff. Yeah, you just call my wife. Yeah,
Your mother's maiden name. We need that.
That's right.
Okay?
You need that as well. That's so good. All right, let's go. I was about to call it Fed Cup, but let's go Billie Jean King Cup.
Can I go one?
Because this is a brilliant. Yes, your turn.
Okay, real quick.
Oh, yes.
I'll go Swiss.
Switzerland. Yes.
So I'm going to go Roger
and Stan.
Roger and
For
Stan.
sure.
And then
Doubles, Roger Stan.
Roger Stan. I'm just going to go two guys. That's it.
I think he said Switzerland, but there's a small breakaway.
I'm going to be neutral.
You will, and there's a small breakaway republic of way Eastern Europe, and it's called Rajasthan. They're just going to start their own country.
Oh, that's true too.
Yeah,
right.
It's near Kazakhstan,
Kingston,
Tajikistan. Yeah. All right, let's go Billie Jean King Cup. I was about to say Fed Cup.
Yep.
Actually, Craig Bell, you get to go. Women's tennis, yeah.
Women's tennis.
Yeah, pick a country.
God,
I don't mind you picking Rajasthan, meaning
let me think here.
Switzerland.
Let me think here really fast. Oh, man.
Let's go to Nick on this one. Fed Cup, Billie Jean King Cup.
Okay. So I guess this is Billie Jean King Cup is just the women's version.
You bet. Fed Cup, Davis Cup. Yep.
Honestly, I've never heard that.
Oh, yeah, this is a brand new thing. It's always been Federation Cup.
Yep.
They shortened it to Fed Cup, and now it's the BJK Cup. So the branding is just named after the matriarch of pro tennis and the women's side in general. Let's say pro sports for women, too.
Okay. Interesting. That's tough. God, Billie Jean King Cup.
It is a smaller format, so you only have to come up with 3 names and a country. And we're going to Rick. We're going to put Nick on pause. Rick, you're first.
Let's go with Coco.
Coco, USA. You're going USA.
Going USA.
I love Coco.
Let's go back to the day of Chris Everett.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And let's take Serena.
What a group. USA, baby. Isaac, it's your turn. Billie Jean King Cup.
I'm sticking with the U.S. I don't care if it is a duplicate. I'm going U.S. I'm going Venus, Serena, and Martina Navratilova.
Oh, and the Czechs are like, whoa.
Wait.
But
That's where I was-
she's American.
Yeah, she
Right.
is. We own her now. She's ours.
She's and she's been ours. Sorry, Prague, Bratislava, all you guys. Sorry about it. Your turn, Mr. Bryce.
Well, that's tough. That's exactly who I was picking.
Yeah.
Bryce, that's why we like this.
Right.
That's
That was
You
exactly
go.
my team. So if I were to throw up my B squad,
Yeah.
The JV.
yeah, right, my JV. Let's see. Let's go with. Wow. I guess I have to go with Spain, and I'll go Arantxa Sanchez Vicario.
Brilliant. Doubles and singles.
Yep, I'll go with Garbine.
Muguruza, big serve.
And
Yeah.
and I will go with Conchita.
Conchita with the one-hander, 1994 Wimbledon champ. Who would have thought a Spanish person wins Wimbledon? Like I don't think it had happened for a
And
long,
over
long time.
Martina.
Right.
Right.
Over Martina, that's right, in 94. That was a rough one. I actually remember that because during that tournament, I would remember trying to watch Martina get to the semis, it was during the week. And this coverage of a white Bronco in Southern California is dominating every damn TV in every sports bar. And like Nick, I was like, oh my God, my apartment, I don't have cable. I don't know, I'm not, there was no tennis channel. So I'm like going to that sports bar, then that one. This is on Union Street in San Francisco. And everybody's covering this white Bronco low speed chase, which turned out to be a bigger story, admittedly, than the 94 Wimbledon. But I was pretty proud that Martina was marching all the way to the final. Craig Bell, we have to thank Robbie Renneberg for that awesome question that led to going around the horn. Really fun. Anything else from the group, or should we go third set, my man?
We go third set, but I was thinking about the German women. So
I was good. Let me guess. Steffi and Kerber?
Yes. Yeah. Maybe Lisicki and
Sabina Lisicki, who could play big serve.
Yes.
And she could play dubs, yeah.
Right. And then Julia Jurgis,
Oh, I mean, she's kind of there on looks, too, isn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Julia.
I am kind of partial right there. I was kind of.
She's my co-captain if I can be on the sidelines.
Right.
Nick, what do you got for us, bud?
Sharapova,
Russians.
Kornikova, and Kuznetsova.
Wait, are these your dinner guests, or is this?
Oh,
right.
No,
We're getting there. We are getting there.
Just a second.
Yeah. Well, we are about to go to the third set, but sometimes we mention a sponsor. I'll do a quick ad read. Diadem Sports, who was meant. No, I'm kidding. We are friends with the Diadem. We are friends with the Diadem rep. So shout out to their 2 great rackets and different variants of the Elevate, the Nova. Our good friend Corbin Gapsky. I'm just going to brag on that guy for just a quick moment. Number one, he has finally satisfied Nick Smith on rackets, so that's a big one.
Thank you.
Hard to
Appreciate
please.
it.
Yeah. And number 2, as much as we love our friends who are in the sales rep sort of side of the business, a lot of them in the COVID era couldn't travel or didn't travel and did everything by email, text, and Zoom. And this Corbin guy is a freak. He's amazing.
Yes.
He gets in the car and drives 5 hours and does it. And for that reason, we know more about that product line than we probably should. It's pretty amazing.
Yep.
Not that they've sponsored it, but I wanted to mention that.
Yep.
Who are we rolling with on the third set, Craig Bell?
Master Systems. That would be the great Blair Descaret with Master Systems. If anybody has any products that they might need, surfacing nets, you name it, Blair does it. He's one-stop shopping in the tennis world.
Love it.
So the great Master Systems, type in Master Systems Courts, and it's there on the web.
I'm quoting Isaac earlier when he says tennis is popping.
Yep.
I'll quote Craig Bell when he said even recreational or amateur tennis is popping. I'll quote Blair Descaret of Master Systems when he said, it's popping, the idea of not just building tennis courts, but building sports courts at people's homes with the pickleball and the hoop, or a tennis court with a basketball hoop. So that's kind of cool. And I heard a fun story actually recently. One of my closest buddies is a teaching pro up in Seattle, and he said 2 years ago, Eddie Vedder, the lead singer, the frontman of Pearl Jam, Eddie built a sports court at his house, and he loves basketball. And he didn't do much with it, and COVID hit, and all of a sudden you'd think, oh, he's playing basketball every day. He's playing pickleball every day. And that leads to a fun question. Where are you on pickleball as we finish this last segment? Nick, where are you on pickleball?
I like it. It's fun. I got into it like a few months ago, and I think it's an easy transition for a tennis player. I went in and started playing with some people that meet where I live, and they were actually mad because it was so easy for me, because I did well when they were explaining the rules to me. So it's just an easy transition for a tennis player, and I like it. I think it's fun.
Love it.
And yeah.
Rick, where are you on the pickleball?
I've never played it.
You haven't tried it yet?
No, I have not tried it.
Yeah. How about you, Isaac G?
Same thing. Haven't tried it, but I have a couple good friends that play pickleball, and they love it. They also are tennis players, and it's something that I am definitely going to be picking up in the near future.
Fun to try. Bryce, where are you at on the pickleball?
Ditto for me. Have not played it yet. Have heard a lot of good things. Have watched it. Used to play paddle tennis a little bit,
Cool.
I feel like it's a little similar to that.
Yeah.
But I look to play soon.
Awesome. Well, Craig Bell, take it away. Third set. I should say an all-new third set.
Yeah, all-new third set. Yes. I wanted to ask one question here.
Oh, please.
The first question, we'll call this pop culture anyway. Just thought about tonight. Why aren't there any good tennis movies? Compared to golf, because golf has Happy Gilmore, the Legend of Bagger Vance, Caddyshack, Tin Cup, greatest game ever played, and we've got Balls Out, Match Point, Wimbledon, Battle of the Sexes. How come we don't have any good tennis movies? Bryce, come on, give me a good.
We're about to have one.
Are we?
King Richard.
King Richard. Okay.
About
Venus's and Serena's dad.
Yes. Where Will Smith will be playing Richard Williams. So we always know that Will Smith knows how to bring it to the box office. Yes. So really, really looking forward to that.
So he's played in Bagger Vance, and then now he's going to play Richard Williams, right? So
exactly.
He's covering both bases now. Is that correct?
Golf and tennis.
Isaac, what do you think? Do we need a good tennis movie out there? What's not? Why can't we find one?
It's a great question. I think some of the documentaries I think are really good, but they aren't really movies per se. Battle of the Sexes, I didn't think that was that bad. Actually, I thought it was pretty good. Why we can't measure up to some of the other sporting movies that are out there? I actually don't know why it doesn't translate better. I don't know. Maybe it's a matter of getting some folks that really are great tennis players and getting a subject that's really going to kind of, shock some people. I think I feel like that's what's missing is, but again, Battle of the Sexes is not too bad. I'll leave it there.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. What do you think about that, Nick?
I think it's tough because to make it realistic, as far as tying all that in, I mean, if for anybody that's ever tried to go out and play the challenger circuit and all of that stuff, like I tried to do that and, it didn't work out well. I think I got to like the third round of a qualifying draw one time. And I just think it's tough. It's just different. It's an individual sport. And I think it almost has to be done in almost like a documentary fashion, so to speak, to make it realistic, because it's just not a mainstream sport. So
it wouldn't be fun following you around one day. Wouldn't that be funny?
To follow me?
Yeah, follow you around.
Oh, now we're talking about comedy.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Come on. We don't need no documentary. I don't care about.
Yeah, I won't let you down.
Oh, you won't? Okay. All right.
No,
Yeah.
we can do comedy if you want.
Right. That's what we want. We want some
But
comedy.
as far as, I think that's why we don't have a good tennis movie. I think it's just it's tough for people to actually understand the sport as a whole.
Sure.
And go out there and you have to live it. So, I mean, that's just my view on it.
What about you, Rick? How come we don't have any good tennis movies?
I think because the most dramatic moment in a match not necessarily is the winning point.
Right.
It could happen some other time where you break that momentum. You think about, you watch a boxing movie, it's the knockout at the end, it's the comeback, it's the natural, you're hitting a home run.
Right.
It's there's not necessarily that moment at the end.
That's true.
Good point. Good points there. All right. First band you all saw in concert. Bryce, tell me the first band you saw in concert.
The Jackson 5.
Oh, the Jackson 5.
1973 with the Commodores opening.
The Commodores and the Jackson 5. Where was that? Was that in
Shreveport, Louisiana.
Wow, what a concert. How much that cost to get in? Do you remember the ticket price?
I was 3 years old, so I couldn't tell you.
Wow, but still the Jackson 5 and the Commodores.
Okay, this has got to be your mom's influence.
Of course, my mom.
Yeah. Yet
And
another.
you love his mom even more now.
Yet another reason I've got a little crush on her. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Nick Smith. What about you?
First concert, it was like a kind of a festival, so to speak. It was at Texas Stadium, and I saw, Ziggy Marley, Iggy Pop, the Smithereens,
Wow.
and Guns N' Roses, all in the same day.
I'm guessing this is 1988, roughly, or 87.
Yes.
Yeah, 88. Love it. I was in college. That was actually the year Steffi won the Golden Slam. So 88 comes up twice tonight.
Yeah.
At Texas Stadium. Wow, I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, right here in Irving, not
Irving,
too far
Texas.
from us. Yeah.
It's not even standing anymore. You can't even go to a concert there anymore. What about Rick Eklof?
Elvis Presley at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo in 1970, and I remember absolutely nothing about it. I was 4 years old.
Little kid.
But I can say I did see Elvis live. If we go to the first concert I actually bought a ticket to and went to, that would be Sammy Hagar or Night Ranger.
Oh, wow.
Sammy Hagar. Interesting.
That's great.
The Red Rocker. So are you a Van Hagar or Van Halen fan?
Two entirely different bands.
Right.
Dave is the greatest front man of my era in rock and roll. Mm-hmm. Sammy took the band musically places where Dave couldn't take him because now you had a second guitar player.
Right.
It freed up Eddie to play keyboards. Two entirely different bands with the same name.
Yeah. No, I think you're right on that. Van Halen. Go ahead.
Nick was saying what a good point that is.
Oh,
yeah, definitely.
Great point.
Yeah.
Who's everybody's favorite band? So, Bryce, who's your favorite band?
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Oh,
yes.
Beautiful.
Favorite song of Earth, Wind, and Fire. Which one's your favorite song? Is it? Or do you like them all? What's that?
Sunshine.
Sunshine.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like Earth, Wind, and Fire. They're really they're one of the best bands out there. What about Nick Smith?
That's tough. I don't know if I can have a favorite.
Well, give us a few.
Huh?
Give us a few.
I'm really into indie rock, and I like my my 80s like dark wave music too. So it's tough, man. I'm a Depeche Mode fan. I like Joy Division, and some of the newer bands. I'm really into Pity Sex and a band called Yuck.
Have you heard of those?
I haven't actually, but you mentioned Joy Division. They had a bit of a reunion down in really all over the world, but I got to see their lead singer down at the Granada, which is 10 blocks from my house. And if I'd known we would have been there.
When did you see him?
This was right before COVID, so just about 16, 17 months ago, yeah.
No, not Joy Division.
No, Bauhaus lead singer. But I love that whole, like you said, dark wave. But
okay.
yeah.
Peter Murphy. You're talking Peter Murphy.
He came down, and there were one or two guys from other bands. In other words, it wasn't just Bauhaus or just Joy Division, but they played a few covers. It was just amazing. I would do it again, and I hope live music comes back soon. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, very good. But and then the other day I messaged you about Toro y Moi.
That's right. We used their song. We used one of theirs. Yeah.
He's got some really good stuff. So
good stuff. Yeah.
What about you, Rick?
Did we get to Isaac on the concerts and everything?
Yeah, we'll get him next.
Oh, good,
Yeah,
good. Rick, you're up.
I'll go different order.
Good.
So favorite band?
Yeah.
Man, there's so many different bands I like. Band probably currently, our band that's probably had the most effect in my life was a band called Disciple. They're a Christian metal band.
Yeah.
Which people say that's an oxymoron. There was one of their CDs. I still call them albums because that's how old I am. But when I was going through all my cancer treatments, that was on blast everywhere I was going. I got to meet those guys later on, share my story with them, pray with them. It was just a blessing. Their music was blessed me. If I go to a band that probably people have heard of, that would be ZZ Top. And
one of your faves.
I'm talking going way back to the 1970s, more blues ZZ Top. Jesus Done Left Chicago.
Right.
Waiting on the Bus.
Yeah. Heard it on the X.
Heard it on the X, exactly.
Right. I liked that's
nice.
That's about Tres Hombres, wasn't it? Somewhere around there.
Yes.
Yep.
Diguelo, Tres Hombres, Rio Grande Mud, all those great albums.
Yep. Isaac, what about you?
Favorite band? One word: Prince.
Prince.
And not the Revolution, just Prince, right?
Just Prince, because he could do all things. He could play every instrument and would teach those who thought they were experts how to actually play their instrument. Prince, all day.
That
Amazing.
dude is underrated. I think.
Yeah.
What a great guitar player. A great musician. That dude could put. And I was listening to something about him and all the people he produced as well and wrote songs. Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize all the people he helped out. It's an incredible list. That dude was just pound for pound.
Yeah.
The guy was only like, what, 5'5", 5'6", something like that?
If that.
Yeah. Yeah.
In heels.
Yeah. Exactly.
In heels.
and ass chaps.
The chaps.
You got me. I was about to cry there on that. All right, now, guys, if you're in a band, we know that Isaac's kind of in a band, quasi, because he sings. Would you all be the lead singer, lead guitarist, keyboard player, drummer, bass, guitar player, glockenspiel player like me? Isaac, you're up first. You going to be the lead singer in the band?
Yeah, because that's about the only thing I can do worth anything. So yeah, I'll take that.
Are you going to play an instrument at the same time, or are you just going to be the front man? Just like David Lee.
I'm just going to sing.
You're just going to sing.
I'm just going to sing.
Okay,
that's all I can do.
You going to wear the chaps, the black leather, and the chaps? No.
That would not be a good look. Let's pull that off. That would not be for your boy. No.
Okay.
Funny.
Nick Smith, where are you at in the band? Where are you in the lineup?
I can't sing, but if I was in a band, I would like to sing, play guitar, and a little bass. Kind of be kind of all across the board a little bit.
I could see that. Would you want to be the front man most of the time, or more kind of the second guy in the row?
I would be. I'm okay with being front man or sharing the space when it comes to that.
So who's your front man? Who's your ideal front man
for a band?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, are you a Mick guy? You Steven Tyler? David Lee, Prince?
I like watching. It's tough. That's a man. I could name a few, but I like watching the Cure. I like watching Robert Smith, and also. But if you're looking for an entertainer, the lead singer of the Hives.
Oh Swedish guy.
Yeah, he's incredible. He's like He's like another version of Mick Jagger. I saw him live. Man, he's entertaining. They're high energy.
Yeah.
They're very good.
They float like a bumblebee, sting like a
The hives.
like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Yeah,
Hives.
and it's funny you mentioned Robert Smith. I saw them in '89, but also fairly recently, and that guy's voice is still unbelievable. You were there at yes, right here in Dallas. I was there too. I was right behind you, man.
He didn't know. You're tapping him on the shoulder, weren't you? Weren't you doing this like this?
No. Who knew?
Who knew we were at the same show? That was unbelievable. Yeah.
They played for like 4 hours.
It was unbelievable. My wife and the other couple that we were with were like, all right. And I'm like, can you believe this? Like, this is even better than the show I saw in college.
They didn't take a break? 4 hours straight?
They did. They had a couple breaks, but they just rolled. Yeah, that was an unbelievable show, The Cure.
So
I just want to add, I saw The Cure a couple of years ago.
You did?
At Dodger Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
And, they had like 4 encores. But I left the night, as great as the show was, I left extremely disappointed because they did not do Let's Go to Bed.
Come on.
And that is the song that got me into The Cure. And I was so mad because they had done it the night before.
Yeah.
And they didn't do it on my night. So, but I agree with you. Robert Smith was amazing.
He doesn't look fit, but he's the McEnroe. Like he's still good. And he's the same age as McEnroe or Prince for that matter. And Prince, God rest his soul, but he was still unbelievable when he was 57, 58 years old before he left us, sadly.
I have something.
Anything.
Because I randomly watch music stuff on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
And I sent the other day to my friend just to tell him, and I don't want to sound like bad about this, but like musicians today, they're just, some of them are just not that good. I mean, I watched a video on YouTube from 1983 of Tears for Fears, Memories Fade, and I can share it to this or to all of you or whatever. And it is incredible, and it's live, and it's so clear without all of the auto-tune and all the stuff that people use today. It's amazing. I was sitting here listening to this, and I was just like, this is ridiculous, like how good it is.
Nick, when you're done, link that in the comments in our Facebook feed. That would be great.
For sure.
Yeah, I want to share. I want to make sure everybody gets a look at that. That's cool.
So, Rick, where would you be in the band?
Well, like my daughter told me when she was 3 and I was singing her a lullaby one night, Daddy, please stop. You don't have a very good voice.
3 years old.
I would want to be up front. So let me be the lead singer who also plays guitar, but's known for guitar. So make me Joe Walsh.
I like it.
Oh, Joe Walsh. Yes. Rocky Mountain Way.
Exactly. Couldn't get no higher.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm an ordinary average guy, so there you go. You know.
I saw him with the Eagles at the Myriad in Oklahoma City back in about 1977. Man, I really didn't see him because it was kind of foggy in there. It was very hazy.
No.
I couldn't see the stage, but I think he was up there.
That's great.
Yeah. That's one thing about concerts. There's a lot of fog in there, it seems like,
Yeah, it's not just the ice, the dry ice.
No, it's not. Yeah, the Zamboni machine didn't going around there. All right.
Well, it's like I like to joke about. I saw Motley Crue open for Ozzy before any of them had been to rehab.
Oh, man. All right. 4 dinner guests. All right. So we know that AJ and I would be invited.
Wait a minute. I didn't get mine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, not for
We got to get Bryce.
No, Bryce.
Music.
Yes, Bryce, I thought you were there. Where would you be in the band?
So the same disclaimer as everybody but Isaac. I don't have the talent to be this, but I would definitely be the bassist. It's the reason why Earth, Wind & Fire is my favorite band. Verdine White is my favorite bassist of all time. And in terms of my front man, I would have the greatest front man there ever was, and that would be Michael Jackson.
Oh, wow.
MJ, yes, the great Michael Jackson. God,
incredible.
Yeah, especially from did you like him with the Jackson 5 or just on his own?
Oh, no. Well, some when I was 3 years old.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
And actually, I think some of my favorite vocal performances from him are really when he was a kid more than an adult.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Like, if you're in the right mood, you're crying at the end of that 3 minutes.
Right.
Or 3.5 minutes. That's an unbelievable song.
I mean, ABC is easiest 1, 2, 3.
That one doesn't make me cry for some reason.
Oh, man, yeah. Michael, oh, man, he had a career, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that guy, an interesting life for as goofy as that guy ended up being, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, gosh, a fascinating person. Just, I mean, you could go on and just watch, you know, documentaries about that guy and just go, man, that was just an incredible life. I know his dad was, you know, really goofy, but kind of forced him into it. Let's just say, you know, Joe Jackson, he was kind of
right.
But I mean, all those kids, just think about that family just in general, the Jacksons. I mean, you know, their sisters also too. They were awesome. I mean, they put out some unbelievable music from the 70s, 80s, 90s. I mean, you know, Janet Jackson was right there at the top of her game there. I mean, in the 80s, I thought, ooh, she was pretty cute. You know,
Beautiful.
she got in shape. She wasn't that
Beautiful.
Yes, she did.
You know, I'm
Pleasure principle.
I'm the pleasure principle, right?
There you go.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
And jeans.
Right. I think Justin Timberlake probably, you know, that was kind of an interesting Super Bowl.
Oh, the
too.
Super Bowl you're talking about, yeah.
The slip of some sort, right? Was that that was kind of interesting. I missed it. I had to go back and watch it. I had to slow it down. I missed it. I was eating some bean dip or something. You know, I missed it at halftime.
The most recorded and paused VCR moment in history.
Okay, so I'll let you answer this first question then, Bryce. All right, 4 dinner guests, up to 4, maybe more dinner guests that you would have. We all know we'd be invited in this parlay. So, and you can go inter-era, you know, way back in history, intergalactic. If you want to, you know, invite some Klingons and Romulans, you know, from Star Trek days, you can, you know, invite anybody that you would want. Who'd be some dinner guests that we'd have over at your house?
I would have the people that you would think. I would have Michael Jackson. I would have Janet Jackson. I would have Prince. I would have Martina Navratilova. I would have Yvonne Lindell.
Oh, yes.
I would have Andre Agassi. And I would have Whitney Houston.
Interesting. Okay, we haven't had Whitney Houston on.
Yeah,
and we haven't had Janet Jackson or Michael. So that'd be an interesting lineup to talk a little tennis, a little music.
Yeah.
You know, what would we be serving? What would be on the at the soiree? What would we be having?
Oh, undoubtedly pancakes, scrambled eggs, and bacon.
Oh, breakfast!
Awesome.
Breakfast for dinner, huh?
Breakfast for dinner.
Yeah, I'm in for that.
It's funny you mentioned pancakes. That's what Prince offered everybody after he beat the hell out of all of them on the Chappelle show in basketball. You know?
Right.
Did he really?
Actually, Isaac and I ate pancakes at Paisley Park.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
In Minnesota.
Yes, sir.
Tell us
Yeah.
about that story.
Yeah,
real quick.
man, tell
how'd
us.
that happen?
Well, Isaac was living right outside of Minnesota in Hudson, Wisconsin. And after Prince died, we were all big fans. My cousin Chet, our producer, and the two of us. And so, as you know, they were having tours there at Paisley Park.
Right.
So my cousin and I, we traveled and stayed with Isaac, and we went to Paisley Park, and we did the whole tour and totally fanned out and geeked out. And they allowed you to eat at the restaurant he had there in Paisley Park. And I had to have the pancakes.
You had to.
Yeah.
You look at Prince and you think probably very healthy, a lot of greens and lean meats and all that. But the man loved pancakes.
Love pancakes.
Yeah.
And I totally understand.
Yeah.
Were they good pancakes?
Trust me.
Were they
He
good
does.
pancakes? Were they good pancakes?
If I'm being completely honest with you,
please.
if I'm being my normal pancake connoisseur, weren't the best that I've had, but they were pancakes at Paisley Park, so I don't know how you get better than that.
Right.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, see, Bryce
What kind of
loves
syrup did
pancakes.
you
I
have
thought
on
they
your
were good.
pancakes?
Rick is asking a neat question.
syrup?
Variety of syrups, anything purple or real maple?
No, it was just regular maple.
I see.
So is it syrup or syrup?
I say syrup.
Depends on where you, depends on where you come from.
I don't say scissor, but
They only teach that at Long Beach Poly where Snoop went.
that for sizzle? For sizzle? For nizzle? For sizzle?
Sizzle.
Actually, isn't syrup, but that's okay.
It's something different. Okay.
I think he was in that same concert I was all the time. You know?
Snoop, undoubtedly, yeah.
Rick, what about you?
Let's see. Both my parents, they're both passed away.
Oh.
Have that one last conversation with them. Or maybe now that I have kids, because I didn't have kids when my parents were alive, maybe apologize for a lot of the things I did growing up. That's probably a good place to start. Let's go way back.
Okay.
Give me John the Baptist.
Oh, wow.
Baptist, yeah.
He's been on our show before.
Yes.
In fact, I think I'm the one who mentioned him because when you go biblical, everybody goes Moses and Christ.
Right.
But John the Baptist, kind of the guy behind the guy.
Yeah, and I always get in trouble for somebody asked me to describe him. I got in trouble in Sunday school one time, adult Sunday school. I said, Ted Nugent on the cover of Double Live Gonzo is what John the Baptist looks like in my mind. The long hair, the beard, the loincloth. Yeah. That's you know. Give me Abraham Lincoln as well.
Okay.
Love him.
Just because of the times, the division in the country reminds me a lot of what we're going through as a country right now.
Good point.
Yep.
Give me Agassi and Borg as well.
Interesting.
Why do I feel so shallow now with my picks?
But hey, now, Bryce, let me ask you this. When you got your email to come to this, did you not think Craig was having his four people was us? We're going to his house to eat dinner?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm right down the road. You know, Nick, we could be there in 20 minutes. you know?
Right.
Hey, Bryce, if you think you're shallow, wait till we get to Nick.
I like
Nick's about to drop some good stuff on us right now.
Well, we're going to give it him. We'll wait for him.
Okay.
He gets the secret square last to think about this. So we're going to go Isaac. Isaac, what about you?
Oh, dinner guests. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I would always choose MLK and Nelson Mandela just because I feel like there's so much that I would want to ask them and talk with them about and things of that sort. So I'd probably pick those two. I think from a tennis perspective, honestly, I actually would love to have a conversation with BJK.
Yes.
I think Billie Jean is just so very insightful, and I just like what she is doing around the game, how active she still is, and what she tries to bring just in all around equality across the spectrum. So I would love to have BJK there. Obama, just because, that's just my dude. And I would love to understand how it was being a president when he was. Gosh, who else would I choose? Bryce took Whitney because I was actually thinking about Whitney as well because that's that. I would have Luther there because I would need for Luther Vandross just to sing.
Luther.
And if y'all don't know anything about Luther Vandross, you need to go, do some research. That voice was just, oh my God.
The beauty of picking Luther is all the women in the neighborhood would show up at this dinner also.
Everybody, hey, see, that's it. That's all I need right there.
All right. The shallow Nick Smith.
I'm not gonna let you down.
You're the best.
So I'm going with all chicks. If it's dinner, we're going with all chicks. That means we're drinking a lot of wine.
Yeah.
And the night is young.
And we're having pedicures and manicures at the same time.
The night is young. We're gonna see where the party ends. So we're going with Margot Robbie. Remember her?
Of course, Australian girl. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Anna Kournikova.
She's on your Billie Jean King Cup squad. I like it.
Yeah. And Paulina Poriznikova.
She married a musician, Rick Ocasek of the Cars. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've always had a thing for Cindy Crawford. So we're going to roll with that.
He likes long-legged ladies that are kind of tall.
He likes tall model kind of girls,
Model-esque.
Yeah. So
Well, what are we going to eat?
know.
What are we going to have for dinner? Are we eating a lot of salads?
Let's start
Salads
with
and
Nick.
fruits?
What are we serving at your soiree?
That's a good one. Yeah, we'll go salad for a nice little dinner salad, and then we'll maybe some some very 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 good salmon, like cooked, not overcooked.
Yeah. Most places do overcook salmon. When you
Pecan crusted salmon.
Oh, that's awesome.
I thought it was going to be on a plank or something, maybe, one of those pecan planks. Those are nice.
But I think, and then, just a lot of red wine.
He's trying to get them drunk. I know what he's trying to do.
Right?
Isaac, what about you? What are you serving at your soiree?
Oh, brother, I'm going high end, fellas. I'm going filet mignon. I'm going with some asparagus. I'm going with some mash. We're talking. We're gonna get one of them chefs from the Food Network to come and prepare this. It's gonna be a feast. Oh yes.
Kind of like a Bobby Flay or somebody like that come in.
Exactly. Get Bobby Flay to come in. Hey, perfect. Be awesome.
Rick Eklof, what about you?
We're going with Tex-Mex.
Okay.
Tex-Mex Productions. Tex-Mex food, right?
Chips and salsa? We get some chips and salsa?
We can have all the chips and salsa you want, sir. And just remember, in the words of the great Lyle Lovett, never trust Tex-Mex food north of the Red River.
That's right. No. Somebody from around here, I would say. And I know Bryce said, "What you told us again? Now, what are you going to have? What are we going to be? You're going to be serving?
Pancakes, scrambled eggs, and bacon.
There
Beautiful.
We go.
Breakfast for dinner.
Breakfast for dinner.
Right. Yeah. Can't. That's can't miss on breakfast for dinner.
Good stuff.
All right. So let's go into our third set. 'Cause I know we're running short on time here. We didn't want to go too long. Because
third set of the third set.
Third set of the third set. We'll bring it back to tennis. All right.
Good.
Indoor tennis or outdoor tennis? Bryce, what do you like? Indoor tennis, outdoor
for me,
tennis?
it was always indoor.
Indoor tennis.
Always indoor. Because I hate dealing with the sun. I hate dealing with the wind. And there's something about being able to hear how your opponent hit the ball at the same time of seeing it. It allowed me to anticipate a little better the first shot. So always indoor.
Indoor tennis. Rick Eklof, what do you?
I've only ever played outdoor, so let's just go with outdoor. Because that way I can blame the wind, the sun, something else when I play poorly. It's not my fault. I can blame
You can blame the elements.
Exactly.
Nixter, what about you? What about you, Nixter? Indoor, outdoor tennis?
Played both for many years, and at this point I want indoor. I think the conditions take away from the game. If you watch any of the other sports, they're all going indoor. Basketball, they don't play outdoor. Could you imagine an NBA game having to play outdoor, like in that kind of heat, even for that little of time? And then you watch these guys play on the Pro Tour for like 6 hours for one match. So I just think if there's a way, I think it should all move indoor or to some degree to take the sun out of it. If anything, take the sun out of it, because it at some point I'm not losing to my opponent. I'm losing to the sun.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about that. It'd be kind of funny to watch outdoor basketball, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
100-degree weather.
Oh, or 40-degree weather, and the ball is different.
Right. Yeah. That'd be interesting.
Or shooting when there's like a 10 or 15 mile per hour
crosswind. Yeah.
I know. I played basketball. I played pickup basketball for years. In high school, I started for my varsity basketball team when I was a freshman. So basketball was like a big deal for me. But I'm just telling you, it's they never play outside. They don't know what it's like to play a game like that in that kind of heat.
Yeah, that's a good point. That'd be kind of interesting to watch some other sports. Can you imagine? Well, football goes inside outside, baseball goes inside outside, basketball, or That's the only one that is inside like that. That's an interesting point. Hockey has been outside now. I mean, they do that.
Just for that one Winter Classic every year. Yeah,
that's kind of an interesting. Interesting. I remember watching the one in Dallas just recently.
That's right.
A couple of years ago. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Watch how they do that. What about you, Isaac? Indoor, outdoor tennis.
And that's why I'm with my boy Rick, because I need excuses. I'm all about outdoors because I don't play that well, and I need something to blame it on, and I'm not gonna blame it on myself. So I'm be like, it's the sun, it's the wind, it's the shoes, it's the strings,
something.
Me and you, Rick.
You can always blame it on the light.
Good point. Very good point.
You can always blame it on the lights.
All right, next question. We got a couple more questions. We're going to round and turn 3 now. Do you all like to watch tennis on TV? Rick, do you like to watch tennis on TV, or would you rather be in person?
Well, I'd rather watch it in person.
And
it's like going to any sporting event. Going to it live, to me, you get more of that's why I love college football more than pro football. It's the whole atmosphere.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there a venue that you really like to watch tennis, or maybe would like to watch maybe in the future? Is there someplace that you've been to, or maybe would like to watch tennis?
I would love to go to Wimbledon. I consider that to be the grand cathedral of tennis.
Yep. That's a pretty special place. So maybe next year, right?
Yeah, you're giving us tickets to go for appearing tonight. Right?
Oh yeah, we're definitely doing that. Yeah, AJ said that he wanted to make a major announcement. He said that At the Net podcast is taking the Podcast Parley. Only the Podcast Parley people.
We're all going.
Right.
I was
later for asking.
Yeah, I was going to suggest the Dallas Open because I'm kind of excited about that. But Wimbledon is a couple steps up. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're going to have a nice event here in the Dallas area. I don't know if Brothers on Tennis caught that. The Dallas Open's coming up in February 2022. So just right around the corner.
February 6th through 13th, a little bit after the Australian Open. Used to be the New York Open, and we're proud to have it right here in Dallas. A quick bike ride from my house. I can't wait.
He could walk over there.
Yeah, I could walk over there, yeah.
With Little Penny, his dog.
I can bring the dog.
He's going to walk Little Penny. What about you, Bryce? What about you? Do you like to watch tennis on the tube, or would you rather be in person?
I'm going to compare it to fantasy football. A fantasy football draft, whether you do it online or whether you have it in person. They both have their pluses and they both have their minuses. Mm-hmm. I do enjoy watching it at home because actually the commentators add an element for me that I like to hear, if they're not pissing me off. And then, of course, being in the environment, I mean, that's, you can't beat that. So I actually love both.
Yeah, no, I think it's kind of interesting to be in both. I like watching tennis. I mean, we were watching. Anybody watch the college tennis D1 the last couple of days? That's been really great. I mean, there's been some unbelievable matches. I stayed.
That's been awesome.
And watched all of them. I mean, it was really riveting. Brian Shelton and his son Ben. Winning that national title.
I love Brian.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
I got to play against Brian before he upset Mikhail Stich at Wimbledon. He played number 1 for Georgia Tech. And then, of course, he was at Florida. And this kid, his name Ben Shelton is unbelievable. What number did he play for Florida?
He was playing 5.
He was
mostly.
playing 5 down. Yeah.
Did he lose a match, or was it the one at 4 didn't lose the whole year?
Yeah, I think it was the one at 4.
Oh,
I think it was. I forget his name though.
Yeah.
It wasn't Andrade. It was the other one.
Right.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, they had a really good team. That Florida team was really stacked.
Massive congrats to Florida. They beat our friend Isaac van der Merwe, who coaches Baylor, and I love those Baylor guys. I've gotten to see a lot of those guys too. So the final was crazy high quality, and even the semifinalists, Tennessee and University of Texas, crazy high quality. And speaking of University of Texas, women's tennis, as Isaac said earlier, is so strong here in the States. It's a few Americans. It's a few people from other countries, too. But University of Texas Longhorns won the women's nationals.
Yep.
So individuals coming up this week, so follow that a little bit.
Yeah. No, it was some awesome tennis.
Yeah.
So Isaac, you're good for tennis on TV or in person?
Oh, I hate to. Bryce and I always do this. We always say exactly what the other one is saying. I'm a both guy. I love watching tennis live. I love watching tennis live just because of what Rick said. I mean, it's the whole ambiance. You in there, you feel like you're really a part of the match. But there are certain things that I really enjoy about watching TV on the tube as well. The fact that you can get a replay. If you get that ESPN shot, and it's just like when you're live, you celebrate it, but it's like, I want to see that again.
Right.
You can see it again at home. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think both has the pluses and minuses. So yeah, I'll stick with that one.
Yep. What about you, Nixter?
For me, I think unless it's something significant, I mean, I would rather just watch it at home. That way I don't have to deal with the people and all of that. And I can, like he said, I can replay it if I want and all of that. But I just I think at home is better for me, unless it's something significant like a really major match. Now, what you guys talked about. You talked about earlier about maybe what's going to go on to SMU.
Yeah.
Then I'd like to go and watch that because you're getting good viewing and everything, and it's close, and you're not having to deal with a lot. But if I could pick, I'll take at home.
Yeah, I mean, I think TV is so great right now. Other than the French Open, I hate watching the French Open on television.
The clay, the ball.
It's hard to see. It's hard to really watch the ball. Do you all find that? I mean,
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I just don't see the ball really well for the French Open, and that's for me is the toughest one. Otherwise, I like watching tennis on TV. I mean, but the French Open just kicks me in the shorts all the time because I just can't see. Unless they do the replay, and then they usually go down lower, and you can kind of see what's going on. I just don't see that ball really well, or like that pink court over at the Paris Indoor. Is that the one that
I think Montpellier did the blue and pink, pink inside, which is a weird choice.
That's an awful color. I can't see much. I like the charcoal indoor. Do you all like that charcoal indoor?
Laver Cup.
I do. I've got.
I actually do.
No. Bryce is shaking his head. No, you don't like that?
Nah, I don't.
Yeah,
we've caught the brothers disagreeing on something.
Yeah.
This is rare.
Yeah, I like the charcoal. What's that?
I don't. It's like they're playing on blacktop.
Yeah.
I have something.
Oh, please, Nick.
Okay. I'm not a big fan of the blue and green.
Oh, really?
Because I feel like everything is so bright, and this may just be me. Everything is so bright that I feel like it's actually harder to pick up the ball. And when the background is darker, like the old school red and green or anything else is darker, I feel like it's easier to pick up the ball because everything else is just so bright. And so I wish they would go back away from that color scheme.
Do you like
Any thoughts on that?
Do you like that purple? I mean, like Indian Wells. I like that kind of that purplish color. That's
darker. But I mean, the really blue and the green, I feel like it takes away from actually picking up the ball when it's like really, when the sun is out and all that. I like the darker background.
So you don't like the dark. You don't like our courts. You don't like our courts, is what you're saying. The blue and green.
Blue and green indoors.
Indoors.
Yeah.
All right. He doesn't like that.
I don't like any of them that are blue and green. Honestly, I feel like when it's that bright, it makes it harder to pick up the ball. It may just be me, but.
Good points. Last two questions. All right, we're going to narrow it down because we got to get. We're almost 2 hours in at this point, so we respect your time and everybody listening. We appreciate. We've had some really good interaction. I got a couple of more questions from the gallery also too. But what sport would you all have played if it wasn't tennis? Rick, what sport would you have played if it wasn't for tennis? Right now, would you be playing softball?
You mean right now in my life?
Yeah. Well, what would you, or maybe even in high school? If I know you said you came kind of late to the game, maybe in college.
I played basketball in high school through my junior year. Got cut. Let's see. Got into strength sports. My best friend at A&M won the gold medal in the Barcelona Olympics in the shot put. A guy named Mike Stoltz. Got to train with him.
Wow.
I saw what it takes to be a world class athlete.
Shot put.
Shot put.
Shot put. Wow. Had the shot put on, have we? Have you ever thrown the shot put?
I have, and Isaac was really good at it, huh?
I wouldn't say good, but I did it.
Did you glide or did you spin, Isaac?
I spun.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Is there a difference between gliding and spinning when you're throwing a shot put?
Yeah, it's the whole pivot.
Yeah.
It's the whole pivot to get that momentum, right?
Interesting. As opposed to just kind of the glide, you just kind of start and then
Straight across.
You just go back and push.
Yeah.
Whereas a spin,
What was your record? What was your distance, Isaac?
It was 51?
51 feet.
51 something, yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's
I was pretty proud. I remember I used to weigh 350 pounds. I was a big boy.
Hey, was that in high school or college?
That was high school.
High school, yeah.
Well, I was about 290 in high school, I should say.
How big was the rock or the shot put? How big was that? How much
It
did
was
weigh?
16.
16 pounds, 51 feet. Wow, that's impressive. I'm going to try that.
I love it.
We're going to have a competition. You
Dude,
and I.
we're 50 and 60 years old. Let's just use. We're just going to use.
No.
Yeah, we're just going to use a 6-pound medicine ball over the net.
Or how about
in
a
the
tennis
service
ball?
boxes.
How about a tennis ball?
Tennis ball.
We can use a tennis ball.
Too easy. Too easy.
What about you, Bryce? If you didn't play
For
tennis,
me, I always wanted to run track, but it was during the same season as tennis. Because in gym and school, I was always one of the fastest sprinters.
Oh, wow,
And the track coach wanted me to run on the track team, but like I said, track was a spring sport like men's tennis. And,
you might have been Olympic
Conflict,
champion.
yeah.
Right? But that was in Shreveport, right?
No,
that was
I
up
was
in
raised
Ohio.
in Cincinnati.
Oh, that's right. Okay, Cincinnati. Sorry about that. Yeah. So were you a Reds fan? Cincinnati Reds?
I was back then just because they were the home team.
Yeah.
I was never my family kind of always followed the Yankees.
I see, New York.
I followed the Reds because they were local.
The Big Red Machine and those guys?
Yeah, I mean,
Joe Morgan.
It's funny. You actually look a little bit like Joe Morgan.
Yeah.
You're, strong, and I guess he's got the haircut now too. But Joe Morgan, I always respected for being part of the Big Red Machine.
Yeah.
But later on, he became a really good tennis player.
He did?
Yeah, Joe Morgan.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, he's obviously an amazing athlete, and he could do anything he wants with a ball or stick or racket or whatever.
Man,
that guy is really, really great.
He was a
great
good announcer,
tennis
too.
player.
I liked his voice.
Oh, yeah.
Good announcer.
He was a really good announcer. So what about Nick Smith?
Growing up, basketball was my, after, with tennis, basketball was definitely my thing. And then, but before, as I spoke earlier, before tennis, soccer, and it got to the point where I had to make a decision between soccer and tennis. Because where I live, soccer wasn't like a really big deal. So I would have had to have drove to be on a select team to play. And so basically I quit soccer and played tennis. But if I could go back, I think soccer would have been my ticket for my body style and fitness,
Yeah, you're a strong guy, and I'm sure you owe your footwork in tennis to a lot of soccer background, like so many of today's great players too.
Right, and after I played in a soccer league, I didn't play soccer for 20 years, and I got back into playing a soccer league with adult, and there was, a lot of younger players in there, and it was so easy for me to just go in there and play. And I led this league in scoring for like 7 years. I mean, it was just, and I didn't play forever. And it was very eye opening. It's like, I chose the wrong path.
Really? Sometimes, sometimes that's that revealing moment in a podcast. Like, that was a regret of yours. That's interesting. Good question, CB.
Yeah.
That was cool.
All right, last question.
Yes.
Then we're going to finish it up here. We're turning.
Do we get to Isaac's answer?
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
He's a shot put. He said shot put. He said shot put. But anyway, okay, Isaac. So shot put. But you said anything other than track and field then?
Yeah, Isaac.
Yeah.
No. Actually, I feel like I would pick tennis simply because I'm the only one of the three that picked up tennis in those late 20s. So I did not get to play tennis in my junior years. So I wish I had actually played tennis as a kid.
And then you wouldn't have chosen track? Did you did you excel at track?
No, I enjoyed track. I enjoyed football as well. Football was a great team sport. And honestly, I love football, to be honest with you. I love the fact that you get to hit people. Defense was my favorite. I would love chasing after a quarterback. And if I could, oh, my goodness, it's the greatest feeling ever when you can tackle a quarterback. Let me just put it to you like that. It's a great feeling.
You must have been on the line then. You were a defensive lineman?
Yep, remember, I was a big boy.
Large man, yeah.
Right.
And I was pretty quick, actually. I was fortunate enough that, Anyway, football, tennis.
Good stuff.
Yeah, no, that's really good. I like football, too. That size got in my way. They didn't need fast 5'2", 110.
Can you believe he was 5'2"? He's 5'10" and a half now.
I was when I got my driver's license, I was 5'2", weighed 110. So I got sized out.
So you grew 10 or almost 10 inches.
8 or 9 inches, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, since my driver's license days, yeah. Now, if I would have been this size, you wouldn't have met me.
You'd have gone with the other
football.
sports.
Oh, yeah, I would have played football. Because I played 9 years. I like football like Isaac. I was into that, but not in Oklahoma City at that time.
For all of you that don't know, for everyone that doesn't know, Craig Bell has an amazing serve.
Huge. Still, at the age of 61, it is way over 100 miles an hour. That's his second serve.
That's downhill with a big wind.
His big one's 120 easy at the age of 60. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Every once in a while. Yeah.
Oh,
Smoke and mirrors.
Nice.
All that is. But no, I like football. I thought football was awesome, and especially in Oklahoma growing up. It's like Texas.
It's a religion.
We don't have very good Tex-Mex food, but we do play good football up there. All right, now last question. All right, last question. Here we go. All right. So you all are the commissioners of the great game, right? And it's in your hands. And you could make a change. You could make changes. You don't have to make changes. It's fine the way it is. All right. Bryce Everett, what would you do for the great game, if anything?
No question at all. I would reduce the amount of time for the serve clock.
Yeah.
Because right now players are totally taking advantage with this whole towel thing. People are going and wiping off after they double fault. It's ridiculous. It's slowing up the game, and I think players are absolutely taking advantage of it. So I would reduce the serve clock to like 15 seconds. They need to become like either Yvonne Lindo and put some sawdust in their pocket or something. I mean, you never saw Martina or Chris or Lindo or McEnroe running and wiping off after every single point. So I would address that immediately.
Great answer. I do want to weigh in as a coach. It is institutionalized. Coaches tell those kids at the age of 14 to go to the towel, whether they're sweaty or not. And it's one of those things, I'm sure it helps them, but it hurts the game to take that damn long. I'm with you, man. Who's next? Who's next on this one?
Institutionalized. I thought you were going to institutionalize me, maybe, or something. Yeah. Rick Eklof, what would you do, if anything, about the great game?
Well, since Bryce took the serve clock, I'm going to do the one medical timeout per tournament.
Ooh.
Otherwise, step off or suck it up, Buttercup.
Interesting. Boy, he's harsh.
He's tough, yeah.
On a Sunday night.
I was going to go with once a match, but he's saying the tournament.
Yeah.
So for a slam, this is 7 matches potentially, and for a smaller tournament, just 3 or 4.
Right.
Yeah.
One medical timeout.
Yeah, these, I'm hurt.
Yeah.
I need another break. No, you're out of breath. You're not conditioned. No.
You're not ready.
So you're cutting out the bathroom breaks also, too? Limited to 1 bathroom break a tournament?
Maybe not. No. Yeah, of course. Unless you're curious and you go into the bathroom to bust a few rackets and they got the camera on you, then we can get the comedy from that. So,
I like your answer.
Yeah.
It depends on the camera.
Yeah.
Love it.
I think they utilize the bathroom break also, too, to the advantage, full advantage. I think that kind of gets a little bit annoying sometimes to change the momentum.
Yeah, ice the opponent by going to the bathroom, yeah.
Nick Smith, what do you think about the great game? Are you changing anything, or are you leaving it the same?
I mean, I like how it is, but I think the push is for speeding everything up, So I would advocate for one serve unless it goes into a tiebreaker. And then on the tiebreakers, and also I would say everything no ad.
No ad.
And if it goes into a tiebreaker, you can have two serves, but I think it should be the 9-point tiebreaker back in the day where at 4-all, it's sudden death. You win 5-4.
I remember it well. My first tournament was that format, and I don't mind telling you, yeah, it's quick. Fans love it, and I bet you love the Ultimate Tennis Showdown, the Patrick Mouratoglou. He enjoys playing with these things, and it's very progressive, and purists hate it, but guys like Nick are like, this is what I've been talking about, right?
Yeah, so you only get two serves if it's the tiebreaker, That way, think about it. If it's in a tiebreaker, then you can really go all out if that's what you choose. And all that. But it's when it's 4-all, next point wins.
Interesting. I'm sitting here digesting that. Yeah, that's quick.
It's intense. It's even quicker than college tennis is now.
It might be 15 minutes, and then it's all over. All right, Isaac Gaulden, you have the last word. What do you think?
All right, I'm going to make it easy. I'm just going to say play the lets.
Play it.
Play the let chords. Just take that out completely. Just play it.
Just like
I think a lot of time gets wasted in refs calling lets and then them getting pissed off about it. Whatever. Just if it touches the net, play the ball.
That's a page out of men's college tennis since about '96. They implemented that rule.
Yeah, the phantom let.
The phantom let.
We heard that
because we need to do it because if Craig aces me, I'm like, let.
There was a let.
Here you go.
Back in the day.
Sorry, mate.
There was always a phantom let out there. Boy, there's some heated matches in the '80s. I could tell you that.
Definitely.
Oh man, there were some awful ones out there.
Yeah. No, I heard a let, man. I heard a let. Sorry.
Easily a let. Yeah. No, that's an interesting one. I was watching the D1. I think it was in the semifinals where the kid hit a let serve and it rolled over and it went
rolled over.
It barely got
awesome.
there.
That hurts. That hurts. Yeah.
And that was a meaningful point too. I think it was in the doubles. Wasn't that correct?
It was in the dubs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, was it a Florida kid? I think it was one of the Florida kids that hit the top of the net. It just dinked over on the other side, and it was the semifinals. So whoever Florida was playing the semis couldn't get it, if I recall correctly.
Was that Texas or Tennessee? Do you remember?
It might have been, Florida. Who was Florida playing in the semis?
I think they played
Texas.
That's right.
Yeah, because Tennessee played Baylor.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah,
correct.
It was in that match, and they had to go over to. I think it was they were shooting back and forth. I want to give a shout out to Sam Gore and Katrina Adams. Did they not do a great job?
Wow.
Holy smokes! For the amount of time, I go, are they ever going to get to go to the bathroom? Because they were on air for about like 6 or 8 hours. I was like, holy smokes, those two! They did a great job. I saw something from Sam Gore. He made a tweet on Twitter, and it was over on Instagram. I said, "Hey, I want to let you know you did a great job."
Fantastic.
Because I know how broadcasting goes. Sometimes when you go for that length of time, you couldn't eat, and they couldn't get up and really go to the bathroom.
Even this podcast, Craig.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Sometimes I saw you went to the bathroom. Yeah, I think Nick went to the bathroom too. I saw Nick got up and he took off for a second, unless he went to get something to eat or something. I don't know what it was. He had to get a sandwich or something. But well, gentlemen, thank you very much. We really, really appreciate your time. This has been great. Cognoscentes, they are all that.
They are cognoscenti, all of them.
Right.
Yeah. They really are.
They were discerning experts, in the great game tonight on At the Net podcast. We've gone 2 hours and 3 minutes right now and counting.
Gentlemen, well done. Huge thanks. And let's hit a few when you guys are around. And just wishing, we sometimes ask, where can people find you?
Yes.
Nick Smith, we've linked your Facebook and Instagram. Rick, same thing. Brothers on Tennis, you've got some projects coming up.
Yep.
Isaac, you're staying in SoCal while this man, Bryce, goes to Dubai, United Emirates. Tell us about your future project over there, because that's exciting for us, and then we'll sign off.
Well, I have an opportunity to live over there for the next 3 years, and so I plan to take full advantage of the new Marada Glue Tennis Center that is there in Dubai. As most people know, Dubai has kind of become, a hot spot for the professional players in terms of either living there or definitely training. During times of the year. So definitely looking to broaden our podcast and our exposure interacting with them over there.
Are you still going to do the podcast?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah.
great. That's
Oh
great.
yeah, he's not going anywhere.
All right. I guess, Nick.
Bryce, will you be sending us souvenirs from over there?
You have to come over and get it yourself.
That's beautiful.
How long a flight is it from L.A. over to Dubai? Just out of curiosity.
The direct flight is 16 hours.
Yeah. All day.
That's like going to Australia. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like. Yeah, 'cause I've done that a couple of times. Boy, that's about 4 movies, maybe 5 movies in. So, and then you're just at Hawaii.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a long way. Well, that's awesome. I'm when you told us that in the pre-show banner, I thought, wow, that'd be really cool to go over there and live for a couple of years like that. That'd be.
Yeah.
Have you ever been over there? Just out of
I
curiosity.
actually have not.
Oh, first time moving it.
Right. So that's going to be an exciting change for me. But I'll be back over here several times a year. Isaac and I, we're at the U.S. Open every year, and we'll continue to do that. And probably we'll hit Indian Wells most years as well.
Good stuff, everybody. Thank you. Thankful for our friendship and a great time tonight. Big thanks, everybody.
I guess Nick wanted to leave. He didn't.
Yeah, that's right.
He already took off. He didn't want to sign off and say goodbye.
It's his second bathroom break.
Well, also, he's probably linking the Tears for Fears.
Oh, that's
right.
right.
So he's probably busy doing that. So thank you.
Wow, thank you, guys.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you all joining us for the podcast parlay. Hopefully, many more to come, and we'll get you guys back on again because that's been fun. I got a whole bunch of other questions to ask also too. I had to pare it down.
Let's do a part 2 at the parlay one day.
Yeah,
that'll be a primo night too.
Oh yeah,
Sounds good.
Real quick, who's going to win the French Open? Real quick, Bryce.
Rafael Nadal and Swiatek.
Ooh, Iga, and she won last year.
Repeat champions.
Yeah. Okay, Rick Eklof.
Rafa, and I don't have a pick of the women's side. It's too wide open. I can't give you a favor.
No, come on, give us one or two then.
Let's go with Serena.
Ooh, okay, she's going to do it. Okay, like it. Isaac, final word.
Rafa and Barty.
Aussie Ash. Yeah.
Those are my picks too. How about UCB?
Yeah, I got to go with Rafa, and let's go with Naomi Osaka.
Really? On clay?
Yes.
I mean, that's an upset.
Yes.
You're crazy.
What?
It's because they use the same racket, and I think there's just a little affinity there.
I got to go with the company line.
That's it. Yeah. You're going company boy. I'm going Rafa and Ash because I always say Ash.
Right.
So, and I always say Rafa for this one.
Yeah.
So, everybody,
Gentlemen,
huge thanks. That was so fun.
Thank you very much for invading our space and talking a little of the great game with us. Appreciate you guys very much. Thank you all.
Good night, gentlemen. Here's Craig Bell with the dismount.
Yes.
That was a fun show, pal.
Oh, my goodness. Wasn't that fun?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Should we let James Scott Campbell start
Do it.
rolling?
Do it.
Here we go. We'll get him
Exit
going.
music.
Yep. We got to have Jimmy on the exit right there. Everybody, thanks for listening to Season 1, Episode 88. That was 88. 88. That was that's like a famous number for the Dallas Cowboys. Did you know that?
Oh, yes.
Drew Pearson, Michael Irvin, the newly minted Hall of Famer, Drew Pearson.
All the best, yeah.
Right. At the Net Podcast, join us next week as we'll be talking with one of the biggest and baddest servers in the game of men's tennis back in the day, Eric Big E Carita. Yes. Also join us this Wednesday evening. We'll be back on at 8 o'clock, right?
Back to normal, tennis shorts Wednesday night.
Yeah, you were gone. You had your son, Josh.
That's right. Graduation all week.
Right. And then this guy's getting a degree in broadcast journalism.
I'm graduating next week, too, or a week and a half, yeah.
Right. From a pretty good school, right?
Pretty good school in Los Angeles, where these guys are from, Broadcast Management Group. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, so congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you.
You get up pretty early in the morning for that, too.
I do. I get up up early to do school. I also do some classes out of California, Berkeley, Haas School of Business, and that is digital media, digital marketing. So we're going to up our game soon.
Yeah, we are?
Like these guys are.
Well,
Why not?
I'm not going to school, I don't think. I've already been to school. I don't know if they can teach a dog new tricks. Old dog right there.
Pretty good.
Well, that's, like I said, on Instagram, we go at 8 o'clock. We usually roll tennis shorts, two legs to the short. And what's the famous question you always ask?
What's in Craig Bell's tennis shorts?
Nothing. A big bag of nothing is what that is. So, and lastly, be sure to like and follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and our other social media outlets.
Please do.
We like that, don't we?
Yeah, hit the like, hit the subscribe. You know what to do.
Right.
And, share it up and comments, too. We enjoy that.
Oh,
and
sure.
We love that banter.
Well, and that's why we had these guys on, because they've commented
They're so good.
a number of times. So, plus, also tell a friend of friends, as we like your peeps, and hopefully they'll like us, right?
In the meantime, I believe they will. In the meantime, thank you and good night from Dallas, Texas,
And that's
from
the tennis
California,
news as it
from
seems to us.
Cincinnati.
Right.
The tennis news as it seems to us. Thank you, buddy.